brief history, but really I'm going to turn the floor over to you all to, one, help us get this story together. Our site, the Hadley Museum, we have a few photographs, the lighthouse that was in the Ritz Theater, some curtains, but no photographs or accounts of people at the site. As far as I know, talking to different people, reading different information about the theater, I realized that it was a very vibrant location, vibrant spot to be in. Ms. Hadley shaking her head, yeah. So I might be on the right path. So hopefully you guys can help us with that tonight. We won't be here long. Hopefully, Ms. Hadley, you don't take over and want to go 30 minutes. But no, we just, the floor will be open. It's very casual. So I'll be sitting down. And yeah, turning the floor over to you guys. If we do get off track, I do have some questions I can pose to the group to maybe spark some other memories. But again, just to help us keep going, keep the flow going. As of now, I'm going to turn the floor over to Ann, who works at the Thomasville History Center, and do a welcome in the purpose of this program and why we're doing it together.
Thank you, Jamarcus. So I'm Ann McCutcheon. I'm the director. Sound okay? I got away from the speaker. Maybe. Director of the Thomasville History Center. And Amelia actually had heard about this style of program called Do You Remember from a fellow museum professional in Georgia. So we kind of grabbed onto it and we stole it, yeah. And we're sharing it with Jamarcus and Jack. And really the concept is Do You Remember? So it's a casual community conversation where it's not that we want people to be inaccurate or anything. We want people to share their memories and discuss things. And a lot of times, these are held around historical events or buildings or people or companies or whatever that don't have as well of a documented history as they should, like Jamarcus said, for the Ritz Theater. So we've done two at the History Center for the Rose Show and then the Rose Theater. And so it occurred to us that maybe it'd be cool to do it. Huh?
And Sunnyland.
Sunnyland, that's right, sorry. And that sparked a lot of memories. And so we decided it'd be good to do a joint program for Black History Month with Jack Hadley here, and decided to do about the Ritz Theater. I know my benefit, I've only been here in Thomasville for 3 years, so what I get out of these programs is I learn about these places. You guys share your memories, you commiserate, you share stories, and I learn about these places. And hopefully at the end, we both enrich our collections and our information at both of our museums. So now, at the end of the day, we go back and Thomas County or Thomasville has a better documentation about the Ritz Theater. That's kind of the end goal. And you guys are going to have a good time. You're going to share some good stories. So thank you for letting us jointly do this program with you guys. And I hope you guys, and so if everybody's okay, this is Amelia's phone and we're Facebook
We're
live streaming
so
this.
there'll be a recording of it later. So you guys can go back and add more comments or share it with folks who couldn't make it tonight. So hopefully everything is recording as it should be.
Yeah, so you are being recorded, I guess, and everything. But anyways, really encourage you to share your memories and help us increase the information we have about the Ritz Theater. Because as you know, it's gone. A lot of these things are gone. But they're not gone from your memories. We know that. So thank you. And you're going to give a little background on it?
Yeah, so as I said, many of you all are familiar. Before I go, is this distracting to anyone? No? Okay. So as you see, these are just some of the objects, photographs, newspapers that we have relative to the hotel, the Ritz Theater. Hotel has been on my mind lately quite a bit, so I'll talk more about that later. But these are just some of the photographs, newspapers that we have relative to the theater. I just went into files earlier and pulled some newspapers out, any of the files that we had on the theater. And one, I'm going to just read a few pieces here for you guys. Hopefully this could get your minds in that right posture. Based on Mr. Lewis, David Lewis, he'll never forget sitting on the hard wooden seats, eagerly waiting to see the continuation of a movie series similar to daytime television that held him and his friends captive in their seats. Again, this is something that I could never fathom going to the movie theater and waiting, for the next series to come on. So that's one account. Again, more about from Mr. Lewis. They would show us a little bit every week, and we would have to wait to see the rest next week.
Serious.
So yeah, again, these series, right? So again, we're just trying to get your mind in that right posture. Again, this was mind blowing for me. So again, I'm familiar with West Jackson Street, but I was not fortunate enough to see what it was at one time. Lewis, he said, cheers particularly rang out in the 225-seat building when Flash Gordon defeated the aliens trying to invade Earth. Right, so again, this idea that it was a packed house and everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. Again, continuing on, this is another account. A popular hangout on Fridays and Saturdays, the Ritz, according to Mr. Ben Hatcher, said it was a place to catch a good Western movie, and on Sunday, a good place to take out your date. I've heard that consistently. So again, someone may elaborate a little more on that for me. Who knows?
Couldn't go on Sunday.
Couldn't go on Sunday.
Oh, you had to slip.
All right, okay, we'll come back to it. And then, just a little history. The hotel, Ritz Theater, built in 1932, of course, for African American moviegoers, and then closed in 1980. So again, that's a great wealth of time. A lot of things took place there. I could be maybe wrong on that date. This is a newspaper article. Someone could have wrote one date, and in fact, no, it closed a year later, right? So all of this is helping us get these accounts down. You can find those special movies that you might not see in other theaters. Again, what does that mean, right? Does that mean, at the Ritz Theater, you only can see select certain films? Could you not see these elsewhere? Again, I'm just painting this picture for you. You all can help me fill in that blank. What type of movies? I came across one account, Green Pastures. Paul Robeson starred in it, and one of the gentlemen that was working there at the time said that's the only film, particularly at that time, focused that was highlighting African Americans, and we showed that about 40 times. So again, it must have been a popular film. So I will step back, open up the floor to anyone and all. I'm interested in hearing from one particular person that made his way here tonight, but feel free to chime in. We do have another microphone I can pass around as well. So who we have? Who wants to take the leap with me?
Did you say you had somebody who had worked at the Ritz?
I did, yeah, yes.
Are they here? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't want to put them on the spot, but
And he broke away. He called and events came up, he found a way to get here. Okay.
I just want to say.
Oh, you're gonna kick it?
I want to kick it off also. And I'm gonna tell this young gentleman, I'm sorry, I apologize, because he said I should have called him up many times, but he had a lot of stuff for us. But I just undoubtedly, anyway, let me just pick it up from 1980 when it closed, when the theater closed. I don't know what, and I know there's a gentleman sitting here going to tell us the whole big story, but some people when I got involved. Somewhere back in 1990, Ritz came to the building, and it was gifted / sold to us, $25. And he'll probably tell you the story in a few minutes. And so we were the Harris Foundation Corporation. We were the one that was the last one that acted on Mrs. Ward was part of that group, and we did some great things in the community. That's what we call Celebrating Black History Month. That's what it kicked off really big time with the Center for the Arts was with us. But that was a big decision on the Ritz Theater. and correct me if I'm wrong, we was gonna restore it, but it's gonna cost $500,000. And we shied away from that. It was just too much for us to handle. But somehow, a deal came up with the Community Resource Center. They were looking for land. And that was, we couldn't build no resource center. We could not restore the Imperial Hotel. See? Same thing. Just been with the Imperial Hotel all day today, doing some stuff. But what happened was that, I guess, that date and time, back around the mid-90s when we got organized, we just didn't see the future as well as we see it today. We appreciated our Black heritage, but we didn't think about the way we were thinking today. And so the president, the staff, we decided to go ahead on and the city, I think, getting ready to do some urban renewal in that area, to do something anyway, so we could move faster upon. And correct me on this also, this is Ward. And so we made a decision they said they want to build a resource center. That became our mission. And the land was available. We swapped land. But the resource center today versus the one and we gave the city the theater, we swapped land. We gave them this spot. That ended that era. And I looked all over my museum for the pictures today to show you how sad I looked in those pictures when Mr. Donaldson with his tractor started shutting that place over. And I reached over there, he mentioned the curtains. We got the drapers. The drapers are upstairs in the museum. I don't know what to do with them. I've been trying to decide, because that place was like the Imperial Hotel. It had rained, nobody took care of that window did not take care of the top of it, and it rained through. And the back part of the theater, the entrance by the front door, and damaged all that. But the stage dry as a tick. All the curtains was there. We took them down and rolled them up, and they're still rolled up in the museum. I just really wish I could figure out a way. I thought about fundraiser. I said, no, that wouldn't be right. So they're there. They're right there. Those all the whole drapers in perfect condition. And so anyway, we would make that swap. Then I got the lamp house. I got 2 lamp houses out there. I didn't get the projectors. Somebody else beat me to the projectors. So I was able to get the lamp house. One of them is pretty rusted up bad, but it's in storage. The other one we show the kids every day. And so anyway, I guess I could have done more research on this, but I just for some reason, you got a million things you're trying to do, and so we put that on back burner until Remember the Ritz Theater came on the scene. Thank you, Ann. And that came on the scene, and then I said, okay, we're going to include Remember the Imperial Hotel, making some project collaboration. And so I just want to share that with you. And I know I'm going to let the people that identify themselves to come up and actually speak about their part in how, even though the young man that's in here today hadn't seen him in about 15 years. Walked in, I really didn't recognize him. I see his brother all the time. His brother's always on the scene. And he's going to identify himself in a few minutes, okay?
All right, so, like I said, you can just casual. You don't have to get in front of everyone. You can stay where you are. But again, just all we want to hear is your account, your story, and what you have to contribute to the history. Preserving the history is what we're all about. And so we can have this for later use. And one other thing, if you grab the microphone, please give us your name. So again, we're not trying to figure out who is that person that said what 5 years from now. So just give us your name, and then please go and share with us.
I'm Randy Gray, and I'm a newcomer. My wife and I are newcomers to Thomasville, about 20 years. And so where was the Ritz Theater?
Someone want to?
At the bottom.
Someone want to give us?
So I know where the bottom was, but give me a little more detail.
We have someone that wants to.
Okay, can we freeze that? Can we freeze that? Can we freeze that particular? Go back up to the microphone.
Are you familiar with the Anglican church down on Jackson Street?
Yes.
Well, the far east wall of the Anglican church that faces Stephen Street
Okay,
is
all right,
actually
there we go. It's
east
right
wall
here.
of the Ritz Theater. They saved that wall and built the church onto that wall.
The Ritz Theater is sitting right here.
Thank you.
You have the floor.
Yeah,
Now, I'm gonna let these cats bring y'all up to speed, because I was in the 60s and 70s. Mr. Boyd, he a couple of years older than me, so I can give you some more.
No, okay, perfect.
I just want to give just a short, how the families, I'm doing from a family point of view. On Sundays, if you were a church boy, you better not be calling you on Sunday. Can anybody take that and go, Bush? I'm not kidding. If you went, you skipped, you did on your own. I used to go caddy during a particular time. You go Sunday caddy early in the morning, blah, blah, blah. If you got off early, I want to go movie. Got off early, you go to the movie early. And then you go home. You ever been to the show? That's when you start cheating behind cheap early. And this is something I saw Jimmy Coleman up there. I was jotting down something I just saw. And you had the Jimmy Coleman and the what? And the suspenders. Those were Jack Johnson, Jack Panthers, that's your classmate. The Jimmy Coleman.
Yes.
There was a group from Polk Valley that came and sung. They started that early singing. I forgot when they came there, but they sung. There's something else too. There was an age of money you had to pay. If you were 9 or 10 years old, it's 10 cents to get in. I really remember 10 cents. Come on now, come on. I know I ain't gonna. All right, okay. Up to a certain age. 9 cents. Yeah, I won't say 9, but they're 10. And if you look young enough, and you stayed there 9 or 10 cents a long time. You been coming here a long time. You stayed 15 or 20 cents. This is the truth. All right, this is where I learned. I still watch the westerns. Red Riley, Bill Beaver, Johnny Mack Brown, Tex Riddle, Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Hopalong Cassidy, I'm skipping a bit, Wolfman, The Mummy, Frankenstein. When I used to watch the movie Wolfman, I stayed about what? 7 or 8 blocks from the theater. And Wolfman, you know, if you change it into a wolf, to go home, scared. I got in the middle of the road and ran all the way home. You know when he's gonna come from that tree and get you. I used to see Wolfman. Anybody? All right, Chief, come on now. Okay. I go way back in. All right. Tarzan. Man, who's that? Adam Land, Little Beaver. Somebody used to come out of a tent. You remember that? Little Beaver. Was a little Indian boy. Okay, but anyway, I was a movie boy. I was a movie, still watching Gunsmoke. Big Valley. Yes,
Were you saying, so there were also concerts there?
yes. Oh, Jimmy Coleman had the
For singing
sing.
and musical instruments and then theater the rest of the time?
And that's it's interesting. I just want to get everybody, I enjoy movies, I still enjoy movies. But that Rich Theater was a good thing. But on those Sundays, Mr. Bush, my parents want you not to go to that was the devil. Devil work on Sundays. you should have been around this time. You Sundays, right? Okay, but you know, I'm through right now.
What was early? You said early. You had to get there early. What?
Oh, 2 o'clock. This movie started at 2 o'clock. What, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Then you have to leave early, because if you stay there, this show starts the same thing over 2 or 3 times. You know, that's true. That's true. If you miss it, you gotta go back and see it again. Right, baby? Oh, your mother won't let you go to the movies. By the way, my name is Charlie Ward Sr. Thank you.
So, got one account. Who do we have next? Are we bringing it up a little more, a few years, or we're gonna stay around the same time period? Go back.
Somebody said something. volunteer other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volunteer somebody else.
The Ritz back then meant a whole lot to me. Oh, my name, I'm Merrill Lee Baker Jr. And the Ritz Theater was built 10 years before I was born. Anyway, as I got older, the only way I could go to the Ritz Theater, plus I can't leave out Docket, and I can't leave out Corbett on in the think it was the Tasty Shop, and his son was in my class, and our parents on Saturday made a list of all the things that we had to do around the house before we could go down to the, call it the bottom, before we could go down to the bottom to the theater. And once we finished that list, then we had to walk, because we wasn't as lucky as the teenagers are today. They got cars and they could ride. We had to walk. So all my friends in my neighborhood, we would meet at a certain time on the corner of Martin. It's called Martin Luther King now, but it's Anna Boulevard. We meet on the corner of Anna Boulevard and Oak Street and Merrill Street. It was about a half a dozen of us, and we would walk all the way down Oak Street to the Ritz Theater, because we done finished our list that our mother gave us to do the work around the house. So we had the okay to go to the movies. And I could, I'm gonna put it like this. It made me a better person. It made me a better person. Because if the movie wasn't what it was supposed to be, my mother wouldn't have let me go. So anyway, that was part of my growing up, and I'll never forget it. And I owe whoever built the Ritz Theater, I owe them a great deal of thank you.
So there's a question.
Yeah.
So there's a question. Who built it?
So who built the Ritz Theater? Nat Williams, gentleman named Nat Williams. It's a scroll. I think one of the guy that's standing in the corner. Was that the son? Or
I think that's the father.
Senior.
Senior built. I think Junior is in the picture. I'll have to look at it again. So
We even had a drive-in too. I don't know where to put that in.
That's a different neighborhood.
I don't know that. Okay, so we had a drive-in.
the group, the question I just posed to the group. Two questions. One, what was the night that you wanted to go to? What was the most, popular nights, their nights, or childhood memory, or teenage memory, or early adulthood memories at the Ritz Theater? So 2 questions there. Feel free to answer those, or feel free to give us any feedback that you may have.
Some of them they might not want to tell.
My name is Catherine Barnes Gatlin. The Ritz Theater was just like home to me. It was like a getaway, because you didn't have that opportunity to go everywhere, but your mother did allow you to go down to the Ritz Theater, because we all came out the same neighborhood. His father, we all was in the same neighborhood. So as a child, like Mr. Baker said, we all got together and you go as a group. Sometimes it might be 10, 12, and you just go along and pick up kids along the way because you knew everybody in the neighborhood. We grew up in a neighborhood that everybody knew each other. And so on Saturday, you go downtown and you want to stand outside a little bit and mingle with your friends, like people from might know your school. And, you know, you want to mingle, but then, like, his mom sometimes would, like, you know, you all supposed to be inside this movie theater, and you know to get inside the movie theater because she knew you just that well and knew your family. And so my memories of that was just like a nice place to be on a Saturday. And like Mr. Ward said, you couldn't stay out late at night. You go early and you come back early.
Is that air conditioning? Or was it really hot in there?
No, it ain't air conditioning.
That is.
In my time, it is.
Oh, you gonna take it? All right, we'll.
I'll be up there for something.
Okay. So we'll go here, Ms. Brown, and then we'll come back up front.
Yeah, I'll be over there for something.
My name is Nathaniel Bush Jr. I was one that frequent the Ritz Theater. The question was asked was air conditioning. Mama first take me there. The floor was dirty, and they didn't have any AC. You stop by Tony Baker's next door and get your cinnamon roll or something in a bag, and that was your thing. And it was sometimes an argument would get started by rattling in the bag. But in the ask what was some of the drawing features that made it your special night. There was a film most of you might remember, Godzilla. And to this day I can't figure out why I would go see it. And see, I lived in the country. And when we got ready to go home, we had a certain time to be in the house. We had to catch the Trailway bus. Well, from 319 to about 2.5 miles to the house, you just watch Godzilla. Then it took all you could do to run up and down the stairs. Then it came out with one they called the Fly. Remember? Some mad scientist or something running some kind of experiments, and some kind of fly got trapped in his booth. And they made a Porsche man and a Porsche fly. And kids do that now, though. You sit there and you got this mesmerized, some joker. You almost turned the kid out. But this happened back before they concrete the floor, because a lot of those pictures would cause pretty good dust to get stirred up. And, but like Mr. Baker said, that was a blessing in disguise to me, because Mama would allow us to come from Ritz to Thomasville. It had to be a group they knew. And it kept you out of all of this foolishness that kids get in today. Another thing about doing the Ritz area, we had a certain time to be home. And Daddy didn't say much, but Mama wanted to say, be home in this house at 12 o'clock. Well, you get in at 12:01, you done blew your time for the next couple of weeks. You made it 12 o'clock. But looking back now, I appreciate that, because if she'd have let you got by with 12:01, next you've been 12:05, next you've been 1 o'clock, you know. But, and my kids asked me a lot when they was growing up, Dad, how come you're so strict? I said, well, you'll understand it one day, and they do. Make you know, Dad, I appreciate that. Back then, it's sort of hard. The Ritz Theater was a good, fun, clean didn't take much to see that. Look at some of those pictures up there. Well, 5 and 15 cents, 55 cents. What it costs to go to the theater now?
$7.
Oh, have mercy. Someone would give us 50 cents a piece, and you go, Tony, get you some donuts, summer roll, and go back to the theater, get me mine with a favorite with orange slush, and you still had a few nickels in your pipe. I appreciate you ever thought about doing this. This bring back memories. Took my mind off some of those aches and pains.
Hello everyone, I'm Lucinda Brown, and I also remember the Ritz Theater. And I also remember the movies that we used to go see when we were little. Mom may not have thought that Frankie Avalon and Annette Chalovich Beach something, and you know, I don't know if y'all remember those movies, but they were always on the beach. But she did have on a full swimsuit though all the time, and a cover up on it too. And the thing was that they would kiss each other. And so I don't know if Mama knew we were going to see these movies where they were kissing when we were just little girls, but that's what was playing at the movies when we would go. And I'll never forget the Ritz because we used to go there. And I think it was like 50 cents to get in, maybe, a quarter, 50 cents during the time that I used to go when I was a child. And we would go in there, it would be dark if you got there late. But you could always look at the first of the movie if you came late, you could look at the very first because it was gonna run over. You just had to sit there for a few minutes and wait for them to, start it over again. But I really did enjoy the Ritz when we were going there, and I thought that it was a good place. I also remember one time when we decided we were going to go to the Rose because there was a movie there. And all of my girlfriends, well, we were all kids though, young, and we decided we were going to go up to the Rose. And so when we got to the Rose Theater, they were charging us more money to get in than it was at the Ritz. Unless, and I'm thinking this is the way it went if I can remember, we had to go upstairs to go in the balcony to look at the movie if we went in. And although we were paying the same price that everybody else was paying. And I'll never forget that either because that was my very last time. My first and my last of ever going to the Rose. And so I just stayed with the Ritz. And I do remember Mr. Likesy and Miss Likesy and the kids. And, if you had, 5 cents less, Mr. Likesy would let you in anyway. And there were so many things about that you would go in there and everybody you knew was in that building. And your whole side of town kind of went with you. And you may not have known the other side of town that well, but you knew your people on your side of town. And when we would go in there, you could see everybody in there. It was nice back then in there. And we did have to go during the day because you had to go for the matinee. Because Mom never would. I mean, the boys in my family could go at night sometimes, but we as girls we could not go.
Okay, now I want to piggyback on something you said. When you went to the Rose, when we went to the Rose Theater, that was the best seats. You didn't know
Yes,
that.
they were.
I just want you to know that. It was good to go up where you see everything down, and you didn't go ahead and throw everything down. I'm serious. We took that. Going upstairs.
So we had great seats,
Good seats.
but my experience was much different based on what Ms. Brown mentioned. And that's a whole nother topic we can jump into more. Who wants to? Oh, all right.
My name is Betty Tillman, and I'm one of those Magnolia people. So I am a country girl, and I lived in the country, so I didn't have, we had to have transportation to get us to the city. So I didn't go to the movie that much as a child, but once I became a courting age, your boyfriend takes you to the movie and everything. Well, you go to the movie, you might or might not stay very long, so I didn't get to see a full movie ever. I may be telling But I do remember the balcony, going up in the balcony, and that was where the quarters, you know, when you went upstairs to court. Now, one good thing about the Rose Theater, I have to put that in there. The movie To Serve with Love came out, and the Ritz did not play To Serve with Love, but it was shown at the Rose Theater. And our dear beloved Principal Johnny J. Jones saw fit for us to go and see that movie because he knew it was going to be vital to, you know, our educational and upbringing. He wanted us to see it. So what he did, and I think we were seniors or juniors one. We were juniors. He took a busload of us over to the Rose Theater, my first and only experience there. And sure enough, you did have to go up. There was the side stairwell, and you did have to go up to the balcony to see. But that's my experience with the Ritz and the Rose.
Can I ask a question? At the Ritz, did you all have a concession where you
Yes.
had to buy food and bring
Yes.
it in?
Yes.
Huh?
Popcorn.
I tell you.
All right, we got the answer right up here for you.
Yes, it was same, had popcorn and had candy, little caramel candy, I think it was, but it was great. My experience was, like she said, we lived in the country, and my brother was a moviegoer, so you couldn't go by yourself anywhere. You always had to take a sibling with you. So me and him would ride bicycles to the movies. We'll go to the Rose, we'll have our 15 cents, we had 25 cents. 15 cents was to get in the movies, you had 10 cents to buy whatever you want. Okay, later on when we started going to the Ritz, my brother dated Mr. Lightsley's daughter. So that's why we went to the movies all the time. In order, it wasn't like boyfriend or girlfriend, you just said you liked each other. My name is Leslie Tim, sorry about that. And Mr. Lightsley's daughter's name was Sandra, and my brother was Eddie. So we went to the movies all the time. And then I knew the guy that did the projector was Alvin Jones, I think he did, that did the projector. But it was a good movie, and you would walk in there and be real dark. You sort of had to feel yourself around to make sure you didn't step on anybody. But it was a great experience. Like I said, that was a treat to us because we didn't have the excitement that everybody had that we have today. And going to the movies was a treat.
So, question I have, how long would it take you to ride your bike? Just throwing that out there.
It probably took us about maybe 30 minutes, but we didn't think nothing about it. And I'm doing it, and during that time, we would walk home from school. After we went to school all day, we would walk home out in the country. So.
And someone mentioned Beachton earlier. What did that? You said a Trailways bus to get. So how would you come in and check out the movie and then go back home?
The Trailway bus station wasn't that far from it. We got off the bus to we got ready to go home, catch that bus that would get us home at curfew time. All right, we could catch it and we had a cord.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, okay.
One thing you had to remember, don't get up and pull that car. Because when you take those air brakes, if it works for the windshield, you get you out of that thing. You pull that car with one time.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna ask about concessions, but somebody already answered that question, although the store next door sounded yummy.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna get to the demolition area, but I am curious, what people's reactions were about Jack said, what was it, the 90s? Did they actually bulldozed?
In the 90s, yeah.
Was there, I mean, you talked about their efforts, what is everybody else's opinion, how did that?
It was devastating.
Yeah, feelings.
Steve would, yeah.
My name is Mamie Davis. I just came over here and I went to the technical school. And we always call on Friday afternoon because we would get out of school at 2. So we know that the movie would start about 4 or 5, so we'd have to go into the rerun. So we would call that tech night. Most of the ones that from the technical school, we get together, we'd meet in a circle right downtown, and that's where we would go to the movie. And we always had our dollar. If the other one didn't have one, we put all our money together. So that is what I remember. Then when they demolished and stopped it, it really hurt our feelings. Just like I said, we didn't have anywhere to go. Because most of the girls, about 5 girls, was living in one house as far as borders. And Mrs. Mabel Barnes, she would make sure we get to the movie that afternoon, and she'll come back and pick us up. And she'll tell us, you were somebody else's kids, but I'm responsible for you, so I'm coming back to pick you up.
And it sounds like it had a real social impact on
It
keeping track
did.
of kids,
Mhm.
which nowadays is probably
Can I say something? Let me recollect some of this about before it was demolished. I delivered mail down in that area from 1984 until 1997. And I don't record any time that's when I came back in 1984, the business was open. So it sit there for years. And you guys, 2 guys shaking hands. I want Mr. Flowers and as well as Mr. You guys, y'all need to tell us the story. We don't. We come on, Mr. Flowers.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
would like to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one little bit I know.
Okay, my name is Langdon Flowers Jr. I like to say that my older brother Jay is on city commission. Actually, I'm on a few years older than he is. But the Ritz is a part of my life that just sort of happened. There was a guy named Jack Casey that owned it for a period of time. Jack wanted to buy a place I was building down at the beach. And he offered it to me in trade for a down payment for a townhouse down at Cape San Blas. So I said, well, Jack, I don't know what we're going to do with the Ritz. Okay, so I did the deal. I wanted to sell unit, and that was back when the market was in pretty bad shape. So I said, okay, I'll take the Ritz in trade for a down payment. I think I allowed him $10,000 trade and took the Ritz in trade at that time. And then,
When was that?
you'll have to look, I can't remember, but it's been a long time ago. And, because you see when it was torn down, but in the meantime, after I got the Ritz, I started getting phone calls from the Heritage Foundation. The Ritz, we want the Ritz. We want the Ritz. We want the Ritz. I probably didn't own it more than about 6 months. So it came up in December, and I called them back and I said, I've got something for you. Come by my office. I drafted a quitclaim deed and I donated the Ritz to the Heritage Foundation, hoping that they could fix it up. I did walk through it, and one of the unique things I saw, and I think y'all sold a bunch of the seats when you closed it up, but they had double seats where you and your date could sit in one wide chair. So that was pretty neat. I didn't see that at the Rose. But at the Rose, we saw the same movies. I can remember riding my bicycle down there, and I had to scare me up a quarter because you had 15 cents. That the smallest one up there they showed. I bought many of those. I had a quarter. They gave you a nickel for a drink and a nickel for a candy bar. That's back when the Baby Ruth was about that big.
That's true.
And now it's all half.
That's true.
But, so that was years and years ago. I'm one of the founders of Trinity Anglican Church. And our church wall, right behind our altar, was the wall that adjoined the Ritz. It's amazing how things happen sometimes. So the Ritz actually has been a blessing to all of us at Trinity. And any of y'all that want to come to Trinity, we welcome. We always got a warm seat there, and we'd love to have many more members. And we're not a totally white group. We have a handful of black folks. We'd love more. Okay? So y'all are always welcome at Trinity Anglican Church. But, so that happened, and then since I had owned that property for a while I owned it for that 6 months or so, one of the other owners was trying to get a permit to build many warehouses back in that whole block. So I got a notice in that time, and I had been out to Colorado skiing in one of those old towns out there. And so I called whoever it was in the city that I said, y'all don't need to do that. Y'all need to turn this block inside out. You need parking on the inside. You need to sort of fix it up. And y'all at the city need to trade the fellow that owned it another piece of property so he can go build his warehouses where the warehouses needed to be. And they actually did that. And he ended up with another little piece of property just, half a mile from there. It was really more suited for warehouses. And so that opened up the back of it, and you see what's there now. Nice parking lot. It's sort of the other front. We got two fronts to our church. One of them fronts on that nice green area out back, and then the other one, is what was the old furniture store. In fact, whoever it was running that furniture store was also a bootlegger. Yeah. When we went cleaning that out, going to figure out how to put our church in there, there were several boxes up there of non-tax paid whiskey in little bottles. Most of it was wine, but it's that real fortified wine, I actually opened up 2 or 3 of them to see. Most of them were bad. One of them was excellent now, and it was probably 50 years old. And there's still some of them in the church there. One of the other things, while we were digging some of the foundations there at the church, we found a bunch of old bottles. We probably found 100 old Coca-Cola bottles. We found other bottles, some like old knee-high bottles, and we found some that were the TIC, Thomasville Ice Company. There had been a bottling company in there at one time. And there also was a foundry there. We found one that looks like, the rotary wheel, how that thing looks. We found one of those bell gears out there when we were working in the backyard. A lot of other pipes and stuff. There were some big lintels that were in there that had the Thomasville Iron Works written on them. I've saved a lot of that. I keep thinking I'm going to weld them together somehow and build something out of it, because it is history for right there. But most of the people I run about the church don't want me to build something out of all that rusty stuff. Yes, ma'am.
So, trying to get a visual, so when you got the ownership of the Ritz, would you say that was around the 90s?
I don't know. Somebody here with the Heritage Foundation know how long y'all owned it before.
Okay, so that's
why
I'm
I
asking.
gave it, it was in December, I know that.
Okay, that's why I'm asking you, because I'm at the Mitchell Young Anderson House
Okay.
on Oak Street.
Okay.
And among all the things in the collection there's a box of stationery headed Ritz movie theater. And apparently there are like 20 or so citizens who were trying to save the Ritz.
Yeah.
And it was through the heritage. That's why I was trying to make that
I
connection.
don't know, I deeded it to them.
The connection there was Jewel Anderson. I should have mentioned that earlier. Jewel played a key role in trying to raise money before it really went down. I got pictures there. I just couldn't put my fingers on them. But Jewel had, we had some kind of little hot dog stand down on the West Jackson Street across there, and she tried to raise money to put it together. She definitely tried, but unfortunately, somebody asked, "What did we try to save?" We tried, but we didn't have the money. The timing was bad. That's I think it all boiled down to that.
Yeah, I think you're right. But you know what? It is a blessing now to our church. It's all a nice green area. When it was torn down, there were a couple of signs that must have been for World War I. One of them was like a chewing gum ad, the other one was selling war bonds. But if it was built in 1930 up next to the wall, it had to be World War I, not World War II. It was built. But that's sort of, my part of the story. And it's one of those things that and that was years before we did Trinity. So the fact that came together, and then where are we going to put this church? We left another church. We didn't like some of the things going on. We started Trinity Anglican Church, and we were at the middle school for a while, for maybe a year or so. Then we moved to the Messianic Jewish Synagogue. They use it on Saturday. We use it on Sunday. So we just moved right on down Jackson Street to until we ended up where we are now.
So, and you had
Well, I was just saying kind of about the building being torn down. The sign, nobody got the sign, Jack? The Ritz
the Ritz
sign? That didn't get preserved, that.
It probably was in such
I mean, I don't need to.
They went down, I think everything went down at the same time, yeah.
I don't think any of the glass was still on the beach, we spelled it out in neon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have a few of the pictures that go by, because I'd like to have some of them there at the church, to see, because you can, the facade there at the church is very much the same.
Well, and you know, if people run, if this makes anybody think to go home and look in that shoebox in the closet, and, you know, not to say that you have to donate it to Jack or History Center, but even if we could just make copies of them and we get to preserve those pictures, by all means, let us know, because as you see, the history can be scanned, or it's in your heads, we can't, that's harder to keep.
Yeah, and Nat Williams had them all, didn't he? He had the Rise, the Rose, the Ritz, and the Highway, or as my wife says.
Yeah.
The Highway.
There were 3 or 4 more out of town.
Oh, did he?
Pelham, Whitman, Quincy, Valdosta, so those are, yeah, the whole chain.
As Ephraim was our curator at the History Center was doing some research into the historic newspapers, he came across some articles, I think it was 35, I have them in the slideshow, that there was a second African-American movie theater that was constructed at the same time as the Ritz, right next door. And from the articles, Ephraim was able to kind of see that the Ritz may or may not have run that other theater out of business pretty quickly.
It was called the Lincoln.
Yeah, so if anybody remembered hearing about it, or the building that was next to it, we couldn't visualize it as we were trying to figure it out, but seeing those articles, that was interesting.
They said it didn't last very long, it was like right nearby or right next to, there it is.
There it is. Lincoln Theater
Lincoln was on
closed.
West Jackson. Some guy came down from Atlanta, and, but you know, competition, I guess the Ritz beat him out.
The Lincoln was a movie theater,
That's
or was it a theater for something else?
It didn't really
It didn't
specify in the newspapers. It wasn't open for long, and only in the 1930s, but the building was still there after. We just don't remember it.
all right. So based on where we at on time, I want to make sure we're good there. I think we'll close out with this gentleman who was there 60s into the 70s working at the Ritz. Just told me practically born there. But that's a whole nother topic potentially. So share with us, and I'm glad you called. I'm glad we talked this afternoon. I'm glad you got over. So share with us what share with us what you have, and close it out. Okay.
I'm gonna give you these to be passed around. Okay, there's 6 of them in there. But there's some photos in there. Some of y'all might know some of the people in there now. But my name is Michael Lightsey. My mother and father operated and managed the Ritz Theater through the 60s and the 70s up to a couple of years before it closed permanently. So I was born during the Ritz time. That's where I learned to count. Our cash register was a muffin pan. Because there were very few paper dollars that came in. It was all denominations of coins. I mean, you could go to the Ritz with a quarter and stay all day. For kids under 12, I think for some time it was free if they came with an adult. Then it was maybe 10 cents to get in and 5 cents for a soda or 5 cents for a candy bar. So you can go twice to the concession stand with a quarter. We'd have to roll up the coins. I can remember 3, 4, 5 years old, learning how to count money and roll in coins. So I attribute that to my math skills. But yeah, the whole section there at Jackson Street was the heartbeat of Thomasville for African Americans. There was everything you could think of. There was food, there was entertainment, there was shoe shines, barbershops. You can get your picture taken. You remember Damon Shaw's. So that was the place to be. And the Ritz capped it off because you can come in there and air conditioning. We had air conditioning, so everybody come in. You can stay all day. We didn't kick you out after the first movie or nothing like that. But I grew up there. I sold tickets at the box office. Then I moved up to the concession stand when I got a little older. Then when I got old enough to stand on a chair, I was the projectionist. I couldn't have been no more than 8, 10 years old. But I would run the film. Worst thing you could do was get a raggedy reel of film and it would break in the middle. I'd have to lock the doors because you started right, you know. But thanks to Cat. What was that? Yeah, burn them up. Yeah, you gotta know what to do to burn them up. But it was a great experience. I learned the value of money. I would actually get paid in a little yellow envelope on Friday. Probably had about $10 in it, if that much. But I'd be able to buy my own school clothes, which meant I could pick them out myself. I didn't have to go bust around. But, you know, it was a good experience. And like a lot of y'all said, it kept you off the street. It gave you something to do. And with my mama there, you wasn't going to act up. No. I've seen her give kids spankings, so you know how it goes. But, yeah, it was a good thing. Kind of wish we had those times now, but I don't know if we're going to get them back like that. There are two people that know more about the business aspect, living people other than myself, that they can tell you more than I can. That's my mom and my sister. Because they work times. In the weekends, we didn't participate in athletics or band or anything else. I had one sister, Martha, and she just refused to work. And it was like, Mom, when you were scared of her, you know, she got to do what she wanted to do. But I couldn't play sports or anything like that because I was at work. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I was working at the Ritz, you know, from a little talon. There's a picture floating around where I'm sitting on the counter. And that's my dad in the picture, tall, handsome, good-looking dude. That was a sharp guy, but he was very smart.
Who's got Billy Dockett, right?
Yeah, it was Billy Dockett in one of those pictures.
You see him when he come from.
As a matter of fact, he not only managed and operated the Ritz, but Nat Williams Sr., which is his father, my dad was his right-hand man. So all 8 or 10 theaters, he was kind of involved in all those theaters. So he knew a lot about the movie business. Like they didn't have live shows. They even have boxing matches. I've seen a boxing match there. Joe Alexander had a exhibition down there one time because they had a great big stage. I mean, the stage was huge, you know, in front of the movie screen. So they had stuff. My dad is a little brother. Had a music group, the Mark IV. Y'all know. They would come and play, and they packed the house. I mean, they just packed the house. It'd be great. So, yeah, the Ritz was kind of the center point of the bottom, which was the center point of Thomasville for the African American community. You could shop down there, go to Norman Goldstead, get some pants and shirts and stuff. You had everything you needed right there in that 2-block area. So that was the spot. Hated to see it go. And I know you, Michael, back there tripping when you say you go with a quarter and, you know, to the movie and eat. Not only did we have sodas and candy, but we actually cooked. Had hamburger. You can get a hamburger and a hot dog at the movie theater. Where can you go get that now? You can't. Popcorn, there were milkshakes. My mama cooked French fries. And, you know, it was full service. You could just go there and have a great time. A good time. If there are any questions, I could
From the
answer.
photographs that you were sitting around, it looked like everybody dressed up. It looked like it was a big deal to them.
Yeah, everybody did.
Even the children, did they? I saw
Yeah,
berets and suits.
that's right. I had on my little short set and my, Buster Brown, you know, Sal Oxford, and I was sitting there. You know, but yeah, people took pride. That was their going out. So they didn't just, you know, they dressed up to go out. That was maybe the one time they got to go out that week, or maybe that month. A lot of people from the rural areas would come on Saturday. The parents would do the shopping, they dropped the kids off. So we were not on the theater, we were nursery too. So they dropped the kids off, and they go do the shopping and come back and pick the kids up. So that's what.
And did your father or you help get to pick out which films were coming?
No, we didn't. We had a lot of, after the 70s, when they brought out the what we call black exploitation films like Superfly and all them big films like that, we would get them. They wouldn't show them. They wouldn't show them at the roads. They get about that, and it would be packed. I mean, there'd be lines down. There'd be cars from down there up to Broad Street. People coming to see the movies. I just hated some of those. Some of the billboard signs. I don't still have them. We just rip them down, throw them in the trash. We had no foresight. If I had some of those now, I probably wouldn't be here because I'd be in Malibu somewhere. I couldn't imagine what the value of that stuff is that they just threw in the trash. You know, I would have to change the marquee signs, and that was a task that took you a couple of hours to do that. You had to count that. Change the letters, you had to do that every weekend. I do that on Sunday nights.
So wasn't it just open on the weekends?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah. And my father was an avid fisherman. He was an avid gardener. He won many awards at the Rose, during the Rose Festival time every year. So they gave him plenty of time to do his extracurricular activities during the week. And if we go on vacation, we'd have to go on Monday and Friday, we coming back. Because Friday, you going to work. So it was a great experience.
Why only on the weekends?
Well, he told you couldn't go to the movie on a Sunday, so where you gonna go on a school night?
They're working people.
Yeah, you couldn't go out.
I get paid once a week.
Well, you could go to the Rose in the afternoon and pay 10 cents a night to go to Rose and step in the back.
At Mandate.
Yeah, man, just do that.
Proceeds out there.
No, I just want to say 100 Oak Street back in those days was like 125th Street in New York. It was more I would leave home, because I lived down on, right off of, they call it Inner Boulevard back then.
Yeah.
And me and my friend, and it always started after 2 o'clock. You started with Sip Cafe, Lever Dawson Restaurant, the Green Frog, Mammy Kitchen, and from 12 o'clock on Saturday until I guess 9 or 10 o'clock at night, that was a busy street. You had all kind of entertainment. Because back then, in those days, you didn't have the machinery that we have now, so all your pulpwood was did by human beings. And those guys that worked in pulpwood, when they got paid on around about 12 o'clock on Saturday, first thing they had is for Oak Street. And boy, you had a lot of entertainment from the time I left home to the time I got to the Ritz Theater. There was a lot of entertainment.
Miss Brown know a lot about it.
I remember sitting on the porch, we would sit out on the porch as small kids and just watch the entertainment. That was our entertainment.
Yeah, it was like
Just to watch them, yes. And that's what we did.
Got one comment in the, yes.
I'd like to hear Ms. Gilbert talk about the memory of the Ritz that they're trying to keep alive at mental young age.
Oh, well. I'm Gilbert Coker. I'm not even from Thomasville. I'm originally from New York. But Jewel Anderson was the last of her family to own the house at 319 Oak Street. And when she died, she asked that the house be transformed into a museum to preserve the history of that boarding house. It was purchased by her ancestors to be used as a boarding house. And I transformed, because I found that box of stationery that had the Ritz on it, and I went through her papers and saw that she had attempted to save the Ritz. We transformed the playroom, aka sunroom, into a movie theater to show old films, African American films, and films made, produced in the African diaspora, and I say that in the broadest sense because there are black people in every country around the world. And so it's a nod to the Ritz, and the Ritz was only would have been 2 blocks away, 2.5 blocks away from her house. So we do the weekends. I didn't realize that the Ritz was only open on the weekends when we set it up, but we do the weekends, Friday, Saturday evening, Saturday, Sunday afternoons, and we show African American films, $5. It's $1 if you're 65 or older.
I go fairly regularly. It's very often just 2 or 3 people, and it's usually white folks. So people that would know about it more and come. Because she shows the greatest movies, man. I've seen fabulous stuff there. Stuff I've seen before, like Sidney Poitier movies and stuff, but also stuff from the 20s and the 30s and from Brazil and from France. It's fabulous opportunity. Thank you.
So, we will.
Oh, yes. This weekend we're doing a 60 minutes documentary on Barack Obama. And then next week we're doing The Spook That Sat by the Door, which is a very interesting film. That in the 70s when it came out, it was the powers that be decided it was too dangerous, and they removed it. And fortunately, they were able to save 1 copy, and they digitalized it, so they put it out recently. And then the last of the month, we're doing a Paul Robeson movie for those who know of him but have never heard him. I recommend you come and see it.
It's real fun for theater. She's got all kinds of old furniture,
Yeah, she
probably
does.
from the 30s and the 40s and everything. And it's a wonderful thing to do. The more people need to come.
You come by. We have a website. You can see I post the listing of the movies on the website. I had an Instagram, but my tablet broke, so I'm not producing anything on that right now.
It's 6 on Fridays and Saturdays and 1 on Saturdays and Sundays.
6 to 8 Friday and Saturday evenings, 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And I would love to have children come. I have films for children, so if anybody wants to drop their children off and have a few hours to themselves.
Okay, so perfect. We'll segue there. We'll cut it off. I just want to be, cognizant of your time. We appreciate you all coming out, for giving us all this feedback, things I learned. More info, Mr. C. Yeah. Gentleman called and said, I just heard about it. It came in, so I really appreciate that. On your way out, Forrest, we have some flyers. We have an event on the 19th. It's much similar to this, not as casual. It's on the Imperial Hotel. We can share with you guys what we found so far, negative photographs we have developed so far, and some pretty interesting things are, I guess, working. So we'll share more of that on the 19th, but also feedback from you all. You may know someone that lives in Macon now, Atlanta, outside of the state of Georgia altogether that might have something that could pertain to that as we continue to uncover more history relative to the hotel. And then evaluation forms, if you want to fill it out, please do let us know if we need to keep doing this, not do it again, or switch some things up, and then a sign-in sheet for it so we can see who came in tonight. So we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
And it's a tradition that everyone waves goodbye during our live stream. So everybody say bye.
Bye.